people who design CAR T therapies, what they do is they take blood out of a human being, then they isolate the white blood cells only. Then from that isolate, they find the lymphocytes that are good at killing cancer. Those are the active T lymphocytes. Then they use genetic engineering to train them to recognize something on the cancer cell. They grow them up to be millions and billions and then send it back and hope that it would circulate the human being and attack cancer. Quite a complicated and bold idea that you can actually re-engineer the patient's own blood into a cancer-killing cohort of white blood cells. And so it has turned out to work for a kind of cancer called B-cell lymphoma and B-cell leukemia, okay? And what B cells are blood cells in our body that make antibodies. And when they go bad and become cancer, they either become lymphomas and leukemias, but on every one of these cells, there is a protein called CD19. And that protein is always there, whether it's a normal B cell or it's a cancerous B cell. So they have now been successfully able to engineer a CAR T cell that recognizes CD19, kills everything that's CD19, and use it for human beings. So even if somebody has B-cell lymphoma and leukemia and they have failed 2 lines of chemotherapy, failed bone marrow transplant, if you give them CD19 CAR T, 60% of them are cured. It's quite remarkable. So that's been approved for human beings for use, but only for B-cell malignancies. Now, lymphomas and leukemias comprise 10% of cancers. What I work on mostly is solid tumors, which is all the tumors that are not in the blood, but in organs. Okay, so things like brain cancer, lung cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer, and that's 90%. And in the solid tumors, we've never been able to find a protein that we can be so sure it's only on cancer or only on cells that we don't mind killing completely, that we can make a good CAR T cell. So about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we said, wait a minute, we have a virus that's really good at infecting only cancer and affects it really, really well. What if we asked it also to put CD19, this other protein, on any solid tumor? Then would the CAR T cells that are designed for lymphoma and leukemia be useful for any cancer? And it turned out in animals where we've been successful in doing that.
And just... Again, it all it sounds amazing, but where are you at in terms of actually proving the science?
In animals, it's proven.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can do it. We could transform a pancreatic cancer or a lung cancer or ovarian cancer to something that's targetable by a CD19 CAR T. But this is where the partnership comes in. Okay, because we're not CAR T people.
Yeah.
We actually have to get the CAR T cells from someone who makes it. And since there are companies that are established to only develop CAR T therapies, those are perfect partners for us in order to go do this. And so we are partnered with 2 different CAR T companies to try to take their CAR T cells that attack CD19 to go with our virus that puts CD19 on every cancer for them to kill. And so that's been a wonderful collaboration.
It really does sound like a true partnership when you put it that way. Now, the $1 million question is obviously, will the virus work and create a new solution for cancer? Mindful of what we can and can't say in terms of disclosure and whatnot, but with trials...
I'm very encouraged.
Very encouraged, yeah.
And the imaging multi-center trial started in May 2022.
Yeah.
That's only a little bit over a year ago. We've already gone into what we call the 10th cohort, okay? And we've been able to test in intravenous as well as intratumoral injections. We've been able to couple that also to combination therapies with immuno checkpoint inhibitors. And we are seeing pretty good signals that this virus has good activity in killing cancer as well as turning on the immune system. So again, very encouraged, and imaging is moving along at really fast speed.